I recently served at the Vassar Children's Home in Goshen, Indiana. Learning that there was a large number of alumni from Woodstock School in town, I organized a tea and invited all who could come. Woodstock School is the American boarding school I attended in India. We ended up with 24 alums and former staff members. I served chai, Indian snacks, and showed some short Woodstock videos. It was a wonderful gathering. On the way from Goshen to picking up my daughter in Longmont, Colorado for our annual summer camping trip, I stopped in Omaha, Nebraska for a short visit with seminary schoolmate Grant Story. As I drove along that day, I remembered that it was 4 years ago to that very week that I sold my home in Columbia, Missouri, and hit the road in Henry, my Volkswagen camper van. The odometer registered that I had traveled 150,836 miles. Driving now from Longmont, Colorado, our trip took us higher and higher up to the Continental Divide. We never fail to stop for a picture at Independence Pass. It gets its name from a ghost town just below it. For 50 years, anxious to find a campsite, we have simply passed by. This time, we decided to stop. Gold was discovered in 1879, and the gold mining town of Independence grew by leaps and bounds. 2 years later, the population had grown to 1,000 with all of the businesses that a town that size needed. However, that was also the year that the rich veins of gold were depleted and the town shrank as fast as it had risen. It was fun walking along through the ghost town we had passed by many times before. I was astonished to learn that in those days, the road over Independence Pass was traveled the year round, unlike today when it is closed during the winter months. Every year we look forward to getting back to Maroon Bells. Our family camped at Maroon Bells almost every one of the last 50 years. I sat for a while on the rock beside which we scattered some of Sally's ashes a few days after her memorial service in June 2019. I love this reflection of the bells I took in a puddle on the trail after it had rained. One year I outlined the picture I had taken of the bells with the wildflowers that grow in the area. I have often heard that Maroon Bells is the most photographed mountain in the United States. Every morning of the year, there are photographers with their tripods taking pictures. During the fall months, the lake is lined with photographers every morning. Camping around Maroon Bells is quieting and peaceful. Snowmelt finds its way down the mountain slopes. Deer peacefully graze. Fish move lightly through the water. In the evening, beavers cut across the lake to their lodge. The cathedral mountains that John Denver sings about receive their evening glow. All is beautiful and peaceful. Time slows down. It is wonderful. After Maroon Bells, it was off to Roslyn, Washington. Along the way, we stopped at Shoshone Falls, located in Twin Falls, Idaho. These beautiful falls are sometimes called the Niagara of the West. A couple was getting married. A must-stop on our summer camping trips out west is Roslyn, Washington, where the TV series Northern Exposure was filmed. The look of the town hasn't changed since the series ended over 30 years ago. Fans will appreciate that we stopped by the Brick for a meal. Laura and I spent some time in the lovely surrounding mountains looking for places where certain scenes had been filmed. The locations are breathtakingly beautiful. In Seattle, we stayed with classmate Marlon Schoonmaker and his wife. Jeannie is an amazing knitter. Laura was gifted one of her latest creations knitted with super soft carded merino wool. On Facebook, Laura wrote, "The only way you can get to have a sweater like this is if the maker wants it to belong to you. Can't believe my good fortune." Marlon took us to the docks to catch the Clipper Ferry, departing for Victoria, British Columbia. Unfortunately, the day was socked in with fog. We could see nothing. Still, it was interesting as the ship's foghorn blasted every 2.5 minutes, warning anything in our path. The fog lifted just before we pulled into Victoria. It was a joy to be met by Alexis, classmate Tom Carter's sister-in-law. Over lunch, she made suggestions for things to see and do, and we followed most all of them. Laura had used AI to locate a place to stay. She told AI that she was a Montessori teacher on a budget and was looking for a funky place to stay for a few nights in Victoria, BC. AI suggested the Ocean Island Backpackers Inn. It was great, and if I ever return, I will not want to stay anywhere else. It is centrally located in walking distance of almost everything. It serves breakfast and dinner with a free drink each night. Almost everyone visiting Victoria visits the beautiful Blanchard Gardens, and so did we. They were lovely. The weather was perfect throughout our visit. When asked several times if we had had tea at the famous Empress Hotel, we answered, of course. Though we could walk almost everywhere, while visiting Fisherman's Wharf, we decided to ride one of the cute little water ferries. On our final day, having walked to the docks, we watched the water taxis perform their famous ballet. Having boarded the Clipper Ferry for our return voyage to Seattle, from the deck, we watched as we pulled out of the harbor. This time, there was no fog. The trip to Seattle was beautiful. We passed by Port Townsend on the Olympic Peninsula, where we were headed to next.